It's been a few years since I last ranked all RuneScape skills, and with much of the game having changed since, I thought it would be a great time to create an updated skill usefulness tier list. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Agility, the skill that everyone in RuneScape hates except that one guy called Jebrin. Why? Because the skill's a pain in the ass to train. That being said, it does have its uses. It will give you access to various shortcuts, including the one that probably everyone watching this video has used, the Grand Exchange shortcut, just to mention one of them. It also has a moneymaker or two, including the Anachronia course, and gives you more run energy, which is something you'll probably not notice unless you just started a new account or you're doing a bunch of quests. It also has a couple of other niche uses, like being able to get pieces of Het Rocks at Het's Oasis, which will eventually allow you to get 10% more skilling experience there once you've completed the full statue. But overall, I would say this skill is just a decent skill and nothing more. Smithing is one of those skills that I think is a good skill in RuneScape, although the uses are again quite limited. The smithing skill allows you to do a lot of things, including making some of the best melee armor in RuneScape being trim masterwork. That being said, that armor is a tradable armor set and you can simply buy it on the Grand Exchange. You don't even need level 99 smithing to custom fit trim masterwork armor. You do need smithing to create stuff like armor spikes and alloy armor spikes, which can then be used to create abyssal armor spikes, which are quite useful. It also allows you to get the highest invention skilling experience in RuneScape, and for that reason I would say it does have some use, although I should probably put it in, I'll probably put it in low decent tier, because it does have its uses. Then we have woodcutting, and no, I'm not talking about taking out Solak, I'm talking about the skill where you click on a tree and you get nothing to show for it. This skill has very little if any uses. The only ones I can think of are maybe chopping elder logs, which aren't a good moneymaker, so that's actually irrelevant, and chopping bloodroot trees for criminal bolt runs, which, you know, is useful. But I'm going to put it in the bad tier. This skill sucks and is not going to be a priority for any type of account, unless you need it for a quest requirement, of course. In fact, I would go as far as to say that woodcutting is one of the skills that is in most need of an actual rework right now. We then have the combat skills, which are not going to be very hard to rank at all. We have melee combat, that's going straight into good tier, magic, ranged, and the constitution defense skills. Now, magic is by far the best combat style, not only because of it being the best right now in terms of versatility, damage output, and survivability, and AoE damage and all that stuff combined. No, not only that, but magic has support skills such as crystallize, prisms of restoration, rapid growth, remote farm, you're able to high alch items, you have various useful teleports, and it's used in twice as many quests as the ranged combat style. Overall, easily the most important combat style in the current game. And the reason these are all good skills is because they have their own benefits, because if you're able to PVM or do Slayer or kill quest bosses quickly, you're going to be better off. Mining is another one of those gathering skills that doesn't really have that many uses, despite it being reworked not too long ago. You know, it can be used to obtain skilling offhands like the Artificer's Measure, because you need to mine certain sandstone, and there are some money makers for the mining skill. You can use it to gain chimes from the crabs in the Ark, quite AFK, but it doesn't really offer you anything of real value, and for that reason I'm going to go ahead and place it in the bad tier below woodcutting, as I think golden bamboo in the Ark and being able to chop bloodroot trees is a little bit more important than mining Anamika. We then have Herblore, and I'm going to be entirely honest, I would say that this skill, compared to 2 years ago, is now less useful. The reason I say this is because you're able to buy super anti-fires on the Grand Exchange nowadays. That doesn't mean the skill isn't useful, because it is going to go straight into the good, maybe even amazing tier, but it has become slightly less useful, but it is still very, very important. Overloads are a key to PVM and any type of combat. Power burst potions for PVM and skilling are incredibly important, and of course replenish and adrenaline potions, very important for PVM. I would say that this skill is easily going to be top of good tier, if not amazing. We then have fishing, another one of those gathering skills that doesn't really there's nothing exciting about it. Yes, you have some AFK money makers. Yes, you're able to fish the best fish in the game, being blue blubbers and sailfish, which you can't get from PVM drops. I suppose it does have another use, being able to get Anachronia base camp upgrades, as you're able to use this skill at the Dream of Aya, just like Construction and Herblore. But let's just go ahead and place it in the mediocre tier. Thieving, also known as the 100% discount skill. I would say that this skill is, well, we all know it isn't very good. That's for sure. It's never going to be here or here. It does have a couple of uses though, including being able to gather anima stones and seeds from the Gornev Karid NPCs, although you could just buy those instead, and obtaining some signs of the Porter, elite clue scrolls, and even brawling gloves if very lucky from thieving inside Elf City. I'm gonna go ahead and place it in the mediocre tier. Next up, cooking. I'm going to be honest, I'm struggling very much to think of any uses this skill might have. It may be useful to get chimes at the Ark, as you're going to be making some wobblegong oil for certain contracts, but other than that, I think this is probably one of the most useless, if not the most useless skill in the game. At the same time, you could argue that people do need to actually cook the food that is being fished, because, you know, you're not getting, well, it depends actually, but yeah, no, it's going to stay in the bad section for sure. Then we have prayer, and prayer is going to go straight into the good, and perhaps even together with Herblore into the amazing section, simply because this skill is great for both skilling and combat. Curses like Soul Split and the damage and accuracy boosting curses, amazing for combat. Seren prayers like Light Form allow you to improve Seren spells like Crystallize or Crystal Mask, again very useful. And prayer is also used to create incense sticks. I think prayer and Herblore are equally as important, and you should train one over the other depending on the price. I actually made a video comparing curses and overloads not too long ago, which I'll also link in the description below. Crafting is a skill that on first thought isn't really that useful, but then if you think a little bit further about this skill, it is used to create so many items we use, like teleportation items, the unenchanted versions of the Luck of the Dwarves, Ring of Death, Reaper Necklace, Grace of the Elves, all that kind of stuff. It's used to create armor, it's an invention requirement, you can make some money with urns, and you can make urns. I would probably put it over here with agility and smithing. Now, just like smithing, you can buy most of the things you create with crafting, so you don't necessarily need it. But simply because it is used to create so many important things in the game, I'm going to put it above smithing. Fire making. Now, some of you are going to say, put it in bad. But no, I disagree. Fire making nowadays is actually quite a decent skill. You have great money makers thanks to the Zygamite scaling update. You can make incense sticks. You have bonfire boost. You need fire making for heat when smithing, and therefore it is important to have a high fire making level when training smithing as well. You might disagree with me, but I'm going to go ahead and place fire making at the top of decent. Fletching is, you know, you can bundle bamboo in the Ark, you can make criminal bolts, you can fletch high-tier arrows, you can, you know, make scrimshaws and ports. It isn't necessarily bad, but it isn't very good or decent either. I would place fletching around, there. Yeah. Runecrafting is, you know, it isn't very good, but it's a good money-making skill. You can make a lot of money making blood, water, nature runes, and even soul runes as well. Making soul runes for the soul altar nowadays is the best way of obtaining them, and for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and place, let's say, somewhere over here. It is a good money-making skill. It is a skill that allows you to obtain soul runes at a high rate, and you can create Viswax through the Rune Goldberg machine, which is a good daily. Actually, due to the nature of this skill being an incredibly consistent moneymaker both through a method and a daily, I'm going to go ahead and place it over here. Slayer. Easily my favorite skill in the game. Is it good? Yes, it's good. How good is it? Slayer is a fantastic source of money, combat experience, and charms. You're able to get access to high-level combat moneymakers and even a boss. You get access to your very own personal own Slayer dungeon. You're able to put drop cleaners in your tool belt like the Charming Imp, Bone Crusher, Herbicide, and so on. You know, is it better than Herblore and Prayer? Is it more important if you're going to be doing PVM? No, not really, but it is a very important and useful skill. Farming is a skill that is able to get you a lot of money through different runs and the Golden Flowers daily at its Oasis. You can also get money by selling player and farm animals in addition to getting player and farm perks, which are great for PVM, like the spider perk with the farm totem for extra DPS on spiders, including Araxor, increasing your barricade time with the Malatops in your range out of time. I think this skill is in the upper decent section, somewhere around here. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sure where to place it in the decent section. It's quite difficult. Is it better than fire making? You know, I don't know. Runecrafting, runecrafting is better money. You know, let's just somewhere in the middle. Fine. Construction is also a skill I would nowadays at least call decent, somewhere around here, simply because of that quality of life the Fort for Room Free update has added. You're able to gain offline experience, you get extra Anachronia workers, extra port success chance, you have a skilling hub, you're able to access your invention machines remotely, and this is on top of the existing things that construction did have, which weren't many, like storing space thanks to the magic wardrobe and the cape rack, and the aquarium perks. Hunter is quite an easy skill to rank. I'm going to go ahead and place it right over here, and why? Well, because you have some solid money makers like Renwalls. There's Big Game Hunter to obtain items such as the Pterosaur Mole and Dragon Mattock, and you have those Whirligigs at Het's Oasis, which allow you to create certain powders like the Powder of Penance, the Powder of Burials, and so on. Summoning is one of those skills that is going to be amazing for pretty much anything you do in the game. There's skilling boosting familiars, there's familiars that hold more items, including Pure Essence and just food for PVM. There's DPS familiars. Summoning is also a skill that starts to benefit you pretty much straight away, as even low tier familiars can be useful to you. This skill is easily going to go into the amazing section. Dungeoneering is a skill, even though some players think it's a minigame, that is very important to level up as it has many benefits. Leveling Dungeoneering gives you access to resource dungeons, which are dungeons in which you can access skilling or slayer creatures. It also gives you access to drop cleaning items such as the Herbicide, Charming Imp, Gold Accumulator, and Bone Crusher. That Bone Crusher can then be combined with a Bone Necklace, also obtained through Dungeoneering tokens, to get unlimited prayer when killing a slayer creature that drops bones. And you can even turn it into a bone picker using the Arc and some chimes, which will allow you to pick up bones automatically as you kill creatures. Drop cleaners like the Charming Imp and Advanced Gold Accumulator are major game changers you should absolutely unlock, and additionally you're also able to buy drop enhancers and certain crafting blueprints for Dungeoneering tokens as well. Dungeoneering probably deserves to be placed around here or so below Herblore and Prayer. Divination is another useful skilling skill that gives you access to items like Sign of the Porter, which allow you to auto bank items when you're fishing or doing woodcutting. It also gives you access to divine skill locations, which are by far the best experience per hour as a daily. You're also able to get various buffs from the Memorial to Gothics, and I'm just going to go ahead and place it right over here. Next we have Invention, which is easily going to be the most important skill in RuneScape, as it allows you to gain faster experience pretty much anywhere. You have skilling perks, you have PVM perks, which make PVM easier. You're able to create useful items such as Dungeoneering Lock Melters or the Oldak Coal Cannon. You can make skilling outfits for your skilling needs. You're able to use machines to alchemize or disassemble items for you, and much more. Easily the most important skill in RuneScape. Finally, we have the newest skill in RuneScape, being Archaeology. Now this is a good skill. It's very important. You're able to get very powerful relic powers when training this skill, which will increase your skilling experience per hour or increase your PVM power creep. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and place it over here, as it's easier and cheaper to get this to a level where you're able to benefit from it. And it also gives you access to one of the best combat money making methods, which is using binding contracts when doing something like Ripper Demons or Water Fiends. Looking at this list, I think I'm going to have to correct myself a little bit and move up magic a little bit more, as I think it's more important than these skills over here. And I'm not entirely satisfied with this list just yet. I think Herblore might have to go over here just because, well, it's important for so many things. Archaeology is it's really difficult to rank these skills, these top 5 skills. Archaeology could be over here, and I think to finish it off, yeah, you know what? Yeah. This feels more right. This is the final tier list. I think I've ranked them quite well, although opinions are of course different, and for that reason feel free to let me know where you would rank certain skills opposed to me, and I'll leave a link to this tier list template down in the description below. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.